Hello and welcome. In this quick video, what we're going to do is just going to explain what is the Relevate Defence Community and what's unique about it. I think we've been in a part of the defence for ourselves for quite a while. I was in the infantry, then in intelligence. I've been in the military, what's it, 10 years ago now. Now I run a business and we're trying to do work in and around the defense industry. And James, you've got quite a bit of experience, a lot more than me in the defense community as well. Do you want to just give a quick 1 minute of that?
Yeah, sure. G'day, everyone. James Middleton. I'm one of the leaders here at the Relevate Defence Community, trying to build something special here. So my background is Australian Air Force. I spent 10 years in the Australian Air Force flying the E-7 Wedgetail, had a number of different operational deployments and got a couple of unofficial world records to boot along the way. And then left defence about 10 years ago and have spent the last 10 years in defence industry. And I've worked in a couple of different primes in everything from program management to industry engagement to capture and business development. And now I'm out on my own, running my own business as well. So really have spanned the breadth of defence and defence industry. And that's why I'm so excited about growing this Relevate Defence Community, because it's my opportunity to start passing off some of that knowledge and experience to people who haven't had the luxury of being embedded with it for 2 decades like I have.
I think just to give a bit of background on what's wrong with the defense industry. Obviously, you've got your big government department being defense. Then you've got all these other related departments, which are Australian defense, but like the civilian version. Then you've got like CASG. Then you've got all these other programs like GUIO, all these acronyms, right? It's really confusing. And if you're a small business and you're just trying to get into the space, right? You go, I'm an Australian business. Defense looks like it would be good. It's a massive mountain to climb to get your head around what's happening. You don't have to have come from defense to work with defense. In fact, many people who are things like engineers, who are maybe you've got a unique product that you've invented, you can be a supplier to defense. Maybe it's an everyday business, like you make uniforms or you make boots or something that the defense need to consume. Maybe it's not necessarily boots on ground army. It might be something to do with a sensor or satellites in space. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a lot of everyday stuff going on. If I could say the army runs on black tape and zip ties, that's got to come from somewhere, right? You're going to be a supplier to from the little wheel bolts on the fighter jet or to a hand cart going through the supply depot at the barracks. Like defense industry is a very broad thing, and there's a lot of things that need to be purchased in order to run what are we at 40,000 50,000 people in defense. Then you've got all the things that surround defense. It's a big beast. So there's lots of opportunity and there's a lots
Mm.
of funds available to help grow Australian business and Australian industry. You absolutely should go for it. But it can be really confusing. What would you say are some of the more confusing things? Where do people get stuck when they're going for defense?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head with the first one, mate. The acronyms. You've got CASG and GUIO and ASD and all these
Yes.
different acronyms. Like, where do you even start? And then you've
Yeah.
got those acronyms within the acronyms. So, yeah, it is incredibly challenging. I think that the probably the biggest barrier to people getting into defense industry is they are under the impression that it's too big for them.
Mm.
It's, oh, we're only a small shop, we're a family owned business. And that's awesome. That's where these things start. It starts with a good idea and a
Mm.
whole bunch of motivation to get it going. But what we're trying to do in the defense community here with Relevate is break that down from, you don't have to go for the big $400 million contract directly with defense, right? There's two, three, four layers of supply chain beneath that. So maybe if you're making every program is going to need LED lights. Every program is going to need wire harnesses. Every program is going to need equipment racks and mounts. We're trying to encourage people to think a bit differently about it. And that's all the
Mm.
technical stuff. We also have the side you talked about is maybe you make uniforms. You know what? Every service has service sporting teams. They need uniforms. Every base and barracks and everything has canteens. If you want your brand new double chocolate protein shake to be the option of choice for today's diggers, then that's a defense contract as well. It all adds up to this huge ecosystem. So
Mm.
part of it is just it's such a mystery that it seems so big and seems so mysterious, and that's what makes me so passionate about bringing my experience and knowledge to a wider audience. Is it may seem like that, But once you start to pull the threads on it, you can really find some places to get a foothold and you can grow from there.
The way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. I think if you would go to look at the government websites and all the information available, 1,000 white papers that are all 500 plus pages long, then you've got 100 different government agency websites, state level, government, federal level. Then you've got like council programs, and there's a million events around the place, and everybody's got their own little perspective and their own little flavor. And there's just so much information available. There's like networking groups we talked about. There's one in Brisbane, but a lot of them are like drinkies and canapes. They're run by public servants that know how to be public servants. They don't really give you the education. They might run forums and seminars, and that's great. But is there anyone saying, having an outsider look at you and saying, hey, maybe this is where you should focus? Sometimes you've got programs like Otis, right? The Otis is a government department. They will give you like a bit of advice. They'll pair you with someone who's probably in service or ex-service that will help you find your way around. But getting an appointment with someone is really hard because they're understaffed. Getting value from these departments, they're not necessarily resourced as well as they could be or should be. And so, like a typical government department, that's how they function. But if you're surrounded by other people going through the same thing, or maybe at or around the same time, that understand the sting of the commercial realities of being a small business trying to make something happen. A government employee has a guaranteed salary. They have a massive super. They have really good leave and all that sort of stuff. But as a business owner, you're trying to put some sweat equity. You're trying to make something happen here. You might put a little bit of personal sacrifice to things. Now, doesn't mean you shouldn't go for these big defense contracts, as James is saying, but it does mean that the approach, the support you need, yes, the government can support you, but they're going to support you in a very government ways, which is very non-committal. It's very compliant. They cannot over-promote this person or that person. Whereas a collective group of people going through the same thing know this person knows what they're talking about. This person's an idiot. This is the way you should do it. This is the way you should avoid doing it. So that perspective change is very significant. And the value, like some of these groups will put events on, but I've gone to their events and yes, they have someone talking on stage, but no one's physically taken me through and shown me things that I need to know. They've gone, I've got a topic to present. They've presented it. Great. Tick. We've met our criteria. And that's the end of it. No one, like, you almost need someone to hold your hand through it. Like it's a lot. But if you get through the process, step 1, step 2, like all the cliches, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first step. But then where do you step first? That's what we're going to do here, where we're taking 1,000 things and boiling it down to just your next step. Once you've taken that one, here is your next step. We will release it slowly so you know where to go, you know what to do. You don't overinvest. It's not scary. You've got partners with you that you can bounce ideas off. Anyway, I'm talking way too much about this. James, I'm sure you've got some more to add, but I'm very passionate about making it right, making it easy, and not wasting thousands of hours or years of time doing the wrong thing.
Absolutely. And what you said there about Otis, the Office of Defence Industry Support, I know personally some great people who are very passionate about helping small to medium business grow and get into the defence ecosystem within Otis. But they are set up as a government agency. They have a budget that is funded by the government, which means if you go to them with a problem, whatever advice they give you, they have to be able to give to everyone else on their list. That's the level of equity or equality they have to operate in. What we're trying to do here, and as you said, it's like, what is your next step? And it doesn't require us to tell you. What the challenge that Otis has is that because of the environment they work in, all these small businesses are developing dependence on them to give them the answers, which they can't give. We're not interested in creating dependence on you, on me, or any of the other people within the Relevate Defence community. We want to share that information, create relationships, and develop the social capital within this network where our relationships with each other amount to an exponentially larger benefit to Australian defence industry than any of us could alone, right? So we want you to be able to come into an event, come into a catch-up, come into a face-to-face meetup and go, I'm having this challenge. And then 3 people go, I had the same challenge. Here's how I handled it. It did work. It didn't work. It did work. all right, I think that's the best one for me. And now you are empowered to go and do great things for your own business in your own context, and you're not dependent on anyone else to find those answers for you. That's the beauty of this, is where we're here to develop relationships. And not only that's going to help us in defence industry get more contracts, that's what we want, sure, but we're going to develop the tools and knowledge and experience to grow our own businesses so that we can help the next generation of people who can help the next generation of people, and ultimately create something that's truly different, because it's by the people for the people, which I know sounds a bit red flaggy, but that's really what it is. It's good people helping good people.
And like, really, if it boils right down to people that can help you interpret what the hell to do, because the government jargon and lengthy documents, maybe you need a few dot points just to go, you need to do this, then this. And the other one is unblocking the pipe. So having someone that can identify your blockage and then help you remove it. Like, just get through the process a hell of a lot faster than you would on your own, and thus saving you hundreds of hours or years of wasted effort and time. Then the next thing is, like you say, that reflective support. Like, am I doing the right thing here? Now, nothing we talk about in the community is secret or going to damage the world or the reputation, the security stability of Australia. Everything we're discussing is based on publicly available information, and everything we're discussing is about understanding our interactions with these defense suppliers, could be supply chain. So we do have a bit of a filter process. You must be an Australian business and or its allies. We must be someone who is legitimately interested in defense. We can't officially screen for foreign intelligence services, but we definitely have a BS check. Having been in defense, we know the type of person, we know based on your background, based on your history, based on your intent, we're going to make those sort of things clear, and we're going to make that determination. So we want the right people helping the right people. If you are qualified, if you have a clearance, if you are Australian, but you are an idiot, you will not be in the group. I'm sorry. This is about having the right people, like you said, good people helping good people get an outcome that is beneficial for all of us.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
we want to approach it with, what can I give to the community, not what can the community give to me. Right?
That's not
Because as
what
we exactly
your country.
right. We're going to get out as much as we put in, and that's really where the selective process goes. Is that we know a lot of people, between you and me and the other people currently in the community. We know a lot of good people whose knowledge and experience would be so beneficial to everyone, but they just don't have an avenue to share it yet, and that's what we're creating.
So if you're watching and you like the idea of this, please jump onto the Relevate Defence Community website, defence.relevate.com.au. There's an application form, fill it out, and we'll have a chat. And if you're a good fit, you're more than welcome to come along. Please do jump in, let us know who you are, what you're thinking, what your questions are. We're more than happy to help. But otherwise, you take care. We hope to see you in the Relevate Defence Community very soon.
Chat soon.